representatives are currently busy. Please stay on the line, and your call will be answered by the next available representative. The estimated hold time is currently less than 96 minutes. You are currently caller number 32.
Are you tired of getting blown out of the water by other web hosting solutions? At BladeNode.com, our affordable web hosting and quick customer support is our #1 priority. BladeNode Web Hosting was started with a mission to provide premium hosting at half the price as other hosts without sacrificing features, reliability, and 24/7 customer support with a live technician. Join our community today by visiting BladeNode.com and using promo code BLADE10 for 10% off your first package.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Good evening and welcome back once again, race fans, here to the Turn 3 Racing Network tonight. The Cyber Thunder Pro Cup Series heads in to Texas No Limit Speedway to put on the Pitmasters 115. Just 2 races remaining in the regular season before we head off into the chase. Your top 8 drivers vying for their championship hopes with just Texas and Talladega left in the season. How you doing? How you feeling out there, race fans? As always, I am Darkside Dave in the cave, bringing you all the great action from trackside here tonight. Man, I tell you what, these drivers already laying down some very quick laps here in a happy hour. Eddie Behan in that 55 top of the speed charts right now, 28.74 for the quick time. Last week's race winner and your championship leader, Tanner Tallarico, right now second on the speed charts here in the final 60 seconds of happy hour. Mike Berg right there tied with Tallarico with a 28.75. A lot of drivers very, very close and pretty much tied or right on top of each other as far as the speeds are concerned on the speed charts right now. We'll have to see who can carry that over into qualifying here in just a few moments. With that being said, we'll get to a little bit of official business here tonight. Your championship standings coming in to tonight's race here at Texas No Limit Speedway. Tanner Tallarico leads the field by 70 points over Brett Hahn. Tom Richter right there in the 34, sitting in the 3rd spot. Eddie Behan in the 55, just a few points ahead of Crank Bell in the 14. Chris Dean, Tim Rogers, Brian Dorsey. That's those top 8 right now. If the championship were to start tonight, those would be the 8 drivers, in those top 8 spots. Close battle between Chris Wold as well as Mike Berg right there. 2-time victor this season, but looking on the outside at that championship, not really in contention right now, sitting a good 190 points off of Tallarico, but only about, let's say about 20 points or so, 19 to be exact, off of Eddie Behan, sitting in, Brian Dorsey, I apologize, Dorsey sitting in that 8th spot right now as qualifying begins. Let's see who's brave enough to jump out there on track first. Looks like Eddie Behan gonna try to duplicate his speed here in qualifying that he had in happy hour. Top of the speed charts in happy hour for this 55. Crank Bell also out there on track. Michael Sturgill, Tim Rogers, Kyle Jett, Zach Shahalis, Nick Fleury in the 25. I tell you what, I've become pretty much a fan of that Fleury guy. He's pretty good. A lot of people seem to be doubtful on that 25, but I got faith in Fleury. He's been having some pretty good runs as of late. There you see Behan carrying a ton of speed off of turn 2. This is that reconfigured Texas No Limit Speedway here, not the old school style, so a lot wider entry into turn 1. Look to see which one of these drivers is brave enough to throw down in the corner full throttle. There you see Behan back off of turn number 2. Good enough for 5th right now as Crank Bell takes it to the top of the speed charts. 28.95 for Bell. Throw up a little bit of the time and scoring there. You can see it on your screen just under Eddie Behan out of RUH Racing crossing the line second time. Where's he gonna go? Good enough for 4th, but Kyle Jett sitting on top of the speed charts. Quick time, 28.94. Brian Dorsey in the 9 now out on track and getting up to speed. First time lap here for Dorsey in that 9 Ford Mustang. Andrew Payne now taking the top spot away from Crank Bell, 28.82. Now the benchmark here in qualifying. 2.5 minutes into this 10-minute session, and we have already got 15 drivers on the speed charts and multiple more yet to go. There's about another 15 drivers sitting on pit road. Jamie Beasley, Chris Wold, as well as Eric Anderson begin their up-to-speed laps. Out on track now, Brian Dorsey hugging that bottom lane. Good enough for 12th on his first time lap, coming off of turn 4 back through the tri-oval, crossing the stripe. Where's Dorsey gonna shake out? Improves, but nobody taking away that top spot from Andrew Payne, still sitting in there with a 28.82. Dorsey crosses the line that time by 28.97, so just a little bit off pace. Tom Richter in the 34 machine out there in the D's Lug Nuts Inc. racing machine, getting the job done. Tom coming off of turn number 4 back through the tri-oval, crossing the stripe. First time lap for Richter. Or actually, that was him completing his up-to-speed lap, so we're going to get the full effect here from Richter. And I tell you what, why don't we go ahead with one of our onboard cameras here. Let's go down to the turn 3 gyro cam. Riding in the car with the 34 of Tom Richter as he makes his way back across the stripe. First time lap on the speed charts, good enough for 14th. He's got a ton of time. He needs about a half a second to take away the top spot from Andrew Payne, still holding the provisional pole with a 28.82. Andy Cork, Jay Morris also out there on track getting some time in. Up to speed lap for both of those drivers. Richter gonna come across the line. Let's see where he shakes out here. Crossing the line, jumping up inside the top 10. Richter goes 9th. Cork and Morris both out there on track. We'll jump back here with the 27 of Jay Morris as he's on his. I believe this is going to be his first time lap, crossing the stripe right there. Sneaky, sneaky. Jay Morris up to speed lap now on his first time lap. Andy Cork also out there on track. We'll take a look here at Andy. Brett Hahn, Jay Morris, Paul Turner, Mike Berg all on track now. Cork coming off of turn 4. Oh, super loose. Car getting a little bit sideways. Cork gonna run in the 22nd spot right now. Big time. About a second off of your pole sitter right now. And let's go check in with a driver that's been very fast in qualifying as of late. Let's go check in with this 71. All the Brett the Jet fans, here you go. Get your fix. Here you go. On down the backstretch into turn number 3. Multiple other drivers yet to put in their time lap. Cole Gray, Bradley Beeman, Tanner Tallarico, Eric Moyer, as well as Bryson Clark yet to put down a time lap. Hahn going 23rd for this first time lap, a 29.34. That's about 4/10. Almost a half a second off of your pole sitter. Hahn gonna have to pick up big time here on his second time lap. Back across the tri-oval, crossing the line. Hahn jumps big time all the way up to second, but not enough to take that top spot away from Andrew Payne. We'll see if anybody else is out there on their time laps. Look like Tanner Tallarico in that one machine, sporting the cat colors out there tonight on his Chevy ZL1 Camaro down through turn 3 and 4. Coming across the stripe, I believe this will be his, wait for it, up to speed lap. Tired of saying first time lap and it being the up to speed lap, so I just waited. You know, that's being informed. Tallarico looking to put it on the top of the speed charts here in qualifying from Texas No Limit Speedway. I tell you what, right there, good enough for 11th on his first time lap. He's only got to pick up about a 10th or 2 to take the pole away from Andrew Payne. This is going to be close. Working his way off of turn 2 down the back stretch. Tallarico's got the cat machine fired up and ready to go down, hugging that white line all over it. Getting that left front all over that white line. Through 3 and 4, cutting through the dry oval, crossing the stripe. Did he carry enough speed? Oh, so close, but not enough. Tanner Tallarico goes second on the speed charts, 28.87, and it doesn't look like anybody else is going to be able to take that top spot away. My goodness, that was a pretty fast, hectic qualifying there. Already in the books, 2 minutes remaining here in qualifying. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to head off, pay a few bills, head back trackside for the national anthem. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rackets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Field already on track and heading into turn 3. We'll scroll your starting lineup right here on screen for you for just a brief moment. There you see Inside row number 1, your pole sitter, the 93 of Andrew Payne, Tanner Tallarico just to his outside, Brett Hahn, Mike Berg. Second row, third row, there you can find Crank Bell, Tim Rogers. Scrolling through the rest of the field, there you can find your top 20, Chris Wold. Just inside that top 20 is a Chevy Silverado pace truck. Gets ready to duck on off. We'll get ready to go. Green flag racing for the first time tonight. 93 on the gas, and away we go. Hahn stumbles on the restart. Drops about 2 or 3 positions right there on the initial start. Andrew Payne gets going well. Tanner Tallarico already looking for the pass. Oh my goodness, Berg goes sideways. Berg sideways off of turn number 1. A lot of action, craziness. 19 into the wall in the outside. Jeff Sharp goes around. More contact. The 67 catches him. The 22 hard into the outside wall. More contact. Oh my goodness. Early trouble here tonight for a lot of drivers. Oh my goodness. First caution here on lap number 2. We'll back up with our turn 3 replay, see what we can see here. Going all the way back here to the restart. We'll take a look, see what happened to a few of these drivers. Oh my goodness. There you see a stack up at the start. The 22, the 2 gets involved as well. Zach Shahalis in trouble. The 29 having some issues as well. There you can see that 67 Andy Cork. It all happens up in front of him. We'll take a look a little further up here, right around the 29 of Jamie Beasley. There you can see Beasley down there on the bottom lane. Contact going on up in front of them, and these drivers just know where to go. 2-3. Oh my goodness. That 22 of Jahalis absolutely ate that inside wall. My goodness, that's some hard impact. We'll rejoin the field back at the front under caution for the first time here tonight on lap number 3 out of 115, and already this speedway claiming a few victims very, very early here. Multiple drivers caught up in that one. Zach Shahalis, Jeff Sharp, Andy Cork involved as well. Looks like multiple other drivers into the outside wall there for just slight contact, but man, I tell you, there is a ton of drivers down on pit road. Looks like there's about 7 or 8 drivers right now on pit road. Berg, Dean, Behan, Beeman, Gainforth, Jahalis, he's going to be on pit road for quite some time. That 19 of Jeff Sharp, also heavy damage on that 19 machine. He's going to be back behind pit wall for a very long time as well. Front of the field already looking a little different from where we started tonight's race. Andrew Payne still sitting at the top of the speed charts after qualifying pole position. Tanner Tallarico right there on the outside, still in second. Tim Rogers in that 48, he fired off and gained multiple positions in that very short run. Up 3 spots all the way to the 3rd position. Brett Hahn in that 71 machine losing 1 spot on the restart. Gonna start 2nd row outside lane. Michael Sturgill also up 3 positions from where he started tonight's race, already up to the 5th spot. Kyle Jett in the 17 gonna line up just behind him. Brian Dorsey, Jay Morris, row number 4, row number 5 here on the restart. Nick Fleury and Tom Richter, Eric Moyer, Mike Grandy just behind them. 13th and 14th on track, Chris Wold, as well as Bob Rogerson. So we've seen a driver get down there on the apron, having to catch the car. Berg was able to do so. Didn't look like he had very much contact with any other drivers, but that may have been just enough to distract multiple drivers out there. stacking it up. We seen a stack up on the initial start of the race. We'll try to take a look a little further back away from the track. Let's see if we can't see any more stack ups out there tonight as the Chevy Silverado pace truck ducks off once again. 93 nails the gas and away we go. Green flag, little bit of a stack up there. You see the 32 having some issues on the restart, not getting going. Once again, that stacks up that outside lane. Multiple drivers caught up behind the slow start there. A little further back in the pack there, you can see off in the distance battle at the front of the field. We'll rejoin this a little bit closer to the action. The 93 continues to lead. Tanner Tallarico, Michael Sturgill now up to the third spot. Kyle Jett in fourth. Tim Rogers back to fifth. Brett Hahn has not been able to get off the starting line here tonight. That 71 struggling on these starts, dropping another few positions. Now back into the sixth spot is the 71 of Brett Hahn. Talked about him just moments ago about how well he was running and then dropping a few positions. That 48 there, you can see him right there in between Nick Fleury and Brian Dorsey. The 48 of Rogers has dropped a few positions now outside of the top 5, running still in the top 10. That Coca-Cola machine needs a little bit of help to try to get back to the top 5, running in the 7th spot, looking to the outside of Fleury. Not going to be able to make that pass. More battles going on back through the field. Crank Bell, there you see him on the inside lane trying to make the pass on the 83. And Bryson Clark down on the pit road. What happened to Bryson? There you can see the 24 of Richard Pruitt just behind Eric Anderson. Has Paul Turner just behind him. Mike Grandy in the 12, running in the 12th spot. Great battles all over the speedway right now. We'll jump back at the front of the field, though, for just a moment. Here you can see a hard 2, almost 3 wide battle for the 5th spot. That is Fleury, Rogers, and Kyle Jett in the 17. That Toyota struggling on the outside as he is being ganged up on by a few of the Chevy ZL1 Camaros, all hugging that bottom lane. There you can see the 71 of Brett Hahn moving back up through the field, slowly back inside the top 5, running into the 4th spot. Side-by-side battle at the front. Michael Sturgill looking to the outside. Can he get the job done? He's made the pass on Tallarico already. Well, now he's back side-by-side with Tallarico heading back through the tri-oval into turn 1, 2 wide still for that 2nd spot. That 90 of Sturgill is hunting the front. His Toyota Camry looking sporty here tonight. High, wide, and handsome down the back stretch. Sturgill looking to keep the momentum up. He's starting to pull that one of Tallarico on the inside lane. Oh, a little slow through 3 and 4 up the track. Almost into that outside wall. He's going to have to cover the spot. Ducks down just in front of the 71 of Hahn. Hahn has Fleury and Rogers and Kyle Jett right there waiting in the wings. We'll jump back to this battle right around the 10th spot. There you can see 2, 3 wide just behind Tom Richter. That's Mike Grandy, Bob Rogerson, Jay Morris, and Brian Dorsey all battling for a top 10 position. Hot and heavy, crazy action here at Texas No Limit Speedway. Battle at the front of the field still continuing to rage on. Brett Hahn back up into the spot that he started tonight's race, back into the 3rd position now, making the pass on Michael Sturgill. Sturgill beginning to struggle just a little bit and fall back, although he has still gained 4 positions from where he started tonight's race, dropping a few spots from 2nd back to 4th now is Sturgill. More battles being had a little bit further behind this battle for the top 20 position here. You can find Chris Dean, Bradley Beeman, Tyler Beeman, as well as Jamie Beasley, all kind of packed up, running with each other right here. The two Whataburger machine by Chris Dean making the pass, going to slot into the 18th spot, set his sights on the back of the 83 of Eric Anderson, running in 17th. Looks like things still about the same at the front. Small gaps, about 0.2 of a second, separate your top three drivers. And race fans, there are just so many battles on track. We'll just continue to jump around here randomly because, I mean, there is just so much action out here on this track. A lot of drivers likening this new configuration, this new tire model, the way these cars drive now with the aero package, somewhat of a mini super speedway, if you will. The speed is up there. These drivers are doing over 165, almost 170 miles an hour in the center of the corners, reaching upwards of 185, almost 90 miles an hour into the corners. So, I mean, they're absolutely getting it, especially when they're packed up like they are running. And somehow Andrew Payne will check in with the race leader there. You can see he's been able to gain a little bit of distance over Brett Hahn. Hahn being able to take that second spot away from Tallarico. David Gainforth and Bryson Clark having a battle back for the 25th position. Gainforth passing Clark. Clark repaying the favor, going back to the top 25. More battles on track right now. Tim Rogers, Tom Richter right there, 7th and 8th position, just a few seconds behind your race leader, 2.18 seconds to be exact. As the front of the field slowly beginning to develop those gaps. Brett Hahn right there still closing in, hanging on to the rear bumper of that 93 machine of Payne. Payne looking sporty, and with just 2 races remaining in the regular season, Payne is almost in a double win situation here. Payne has already been to victory lane one time this season, but he finds himself outside of that top 8 and outside of the top 10 coming into tonight's race. He's going to need 2 fantastic points days. He already took the pole position. He's led some laps here tonight. So far, you're leading the most laps, leading pretty much every lap of the race so far is Andrew Payne. Can he walk away with a race win, maximize the points, possibly somehow find a way to get inside that top 8? That would be a great Cinderella story, and doing what he's got to do right now. Man at the front, the 93 of Andrew Payne. Field down into the center of 1 and 2 on lap 21 out of the scheduled 115 in the official race distance here tonight for Cyber Thunder Pro Cup Series, brought to you by BladeNode.com. BladeNode.com, simple web solutions powered by nerds. Back across the stripe, still has the field in tow. The 93 of Payne continues to pick him up and put him down. Fastest on the track last time by was Payne. Brett Hahn losing a little bit of ground. Multiple other drivers a little bit quicker than Hahn. Fleury Sturgill quicker last time by, but they're about maybe about 0.5 of a second or so back to Sturgill. So these drivers got to make up a little bit of ground, and being a 0.5 tenth faster a lap, it's going to take a few laps to get that job done, with 23 laps in the books here tonight. Multiple drivers were on pit road, but not very much of a difference in the fuel. Not very much difference in the tires due to when that caution flag flew on lap number 1. Halfway down the backstretch when we were under caution for the first time here tonight at Texas No Limit Speedway. for the Cyber Thunder BladeNode.com Pro Cup Series Pit Masters 115. And as these gaps begin to develop, we'll run down through a few of your drivers as they run right now on track. There you can see your race leader, your pole sitter, most laps led right now. I believe all the laps, if I'm not mistaken, in the hands of your race leader right now. There you can see Andrew Payne and his 93. Just behind him, up one spot from where he started tonight, out of the RHU Racing stable, Brett the Jet trying to get to the front of the field. Back one spot from where he started tonight's race, now running in the third spot, the one of Tanner Tallarico, your points leader coming into tonight's race. Tallarico also leading the league with 4 race wins to his name already, so that 24-year-old already well-versed here in the Cyber Thunder BladeNode.com Pro Cup Series. Back in the 4th position, there you see the 25 of Nick Fleury getting the job done out there tonight, up 10 spots from where he started tonight's race. Rounding out your top 5 as they run right now out of Cincinnati, Ohio, the 90 of Michael Sturgill. And Michael, I'm going to get with you. I need some Bengals gear, bro. That's right. I'll take the flack. You can give it to me out there in YouTube land. It's all right. I accept it. I'm a Cincinnati Bengals fan, and yeah. So, Michael, I'm going to have to get with you at some point in time. I need some cheap merchandise. There you have it, a little bit of rundown of the drivers running in the top 5 here tonight. Man on screen, the 90 of Sturgill trying to close in the distance on the 25 of Nick Fleury. Not having too much of luck right now. Slowly but surely just clicking off slightly quicker laps than Fleury. Going to take a handful of laps before he gets up there. Nothing going on back at the front of the field. Andrew Payne continues to lead Brett Hahn by about 0.2 of a second. Hahn with almost a 1-second lead over Tallarico. Fleury just a few tenths of a second back behind Tallarico. So a 3-car battle beginning to develop for the 3rd through 5th position on track. A little further back behind them, there you can see a small battle developing between Tom Richter, Tim Rogers, as well as Crank Bell, Eric Moyer in the mix as well. In that 3 machine, there you can see him last car in this train of drivers. Rogers able to slowly get that 48 heading back in the right direction, sitting in the 8th spot, 2 positions down from where he started tonight's Pit Masters 115, live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Back at the front, look at this, having to keep Michael Sturgill behind him. Not sure what happened to Fleury, but he had a gap, and it has went away. Michael Sturgill right there, ready to pounce now back at the front of the field. There's a little bit of action going on with Tallarico and Hahn up there. There you can see those 3 top drivers, Payne, Hahn, and Tallarico, just off in the distance. And now Sturgill looking to the outside again. We've seen him make this move earlier in the race. Didn't pay off. I wonder if he's thinking with the tire wear, with the way the car is running right now, the way the balance feels on this longer run, that maybe that outside lane may prevail, but looks like the car in the speed chart says otherwise. Gonna lose a little bit of time now, gaining more ground back into turn number 3. Sturgill all over the rear deck lid of Fleury. Back at the top spot, we're going to go up there and join this battle for the race lead because Hahn is there. 73 of Bryson Clark off the pace, running in between your race leader and Brett Hahn. He's got Tanner Tallarico right there, and you can see just how easily drivers are able to catch up to one another when they start to getting side-by-side racing. Drivers just off the pace behind them, going to be able to close the gap very, very quickly as Clark takes his 73 machine up to the high side in turn 1 and 2. That's going to let Hahn and Tallarico by on the inside. They're going to set sail back down into turn number 3, set their sights back in on running down your race leader. Andrew Payne continues to lead the race, has led every lap here so far tonight. Walked away with the pole position as well, so Payne looking for the clean sweep here tonight. We'll have to wait to see if he can get the job done, because green flag pit stops are looming. We're 35 laps into this green flag run here tonight. First caution coming out halfway down the backstretch on lap number 1. Just a handful of drivers on the pit road for that incident, and we had multiple drivers behind the wall after that incident. The 19 of Jeff Sharp, Zach Shahalis, all relegated behind the wall. Andy Cork also caught up in behind the wall in that first initial incident. Since then, it has been clean and green. Right now, we've still got 26 of the 29 drivers on track. Mike Berg down and out, actually, so it looks like we've got 25 drivers of the 29 still on the racetrack. 23 drivers still on the lead lap. David Gainforth in the 101 running in that final lead lap position, just ahead of your race leader. Not very much in front of your race leader, just about 10 seconds in front of the man on screen, still trying to keep the very fast Brett Hahn behind him, and Hahn has closed the gap. He is here. Oh my goodness, right there. All over that rear spoiler at a turn number 2. Hahn looking to get the draft, helping into turn 3. Gonna head in just behind him. No arrow push yet in the dirty air there for the 71 of Brett Hahn. He continues to try to track down the 93 of Payne. Up the track a little bit on exit there is Hahn. Looks like it was intentional. There you see that big run through the tri-oval that Hahn gets, carrying that momentum off of turn number 4 the way he did right there, back closing the distance on the rear deck lid to your race leader, Andrew Payne. Gonna take a look back from your race leader, Andrew Payne. There you can see great camera shot here tonight from Texas No Limit Speedway for the Pit Masters 115. If you haven't done so already, race fans, head on down in the description, click the link to the cameras. Esteban does a great job at all the camera work here that you can see tonight on the Turn 3 Racing Network and every night on the Turn 3 Racing Network. If you like what you see, want to get it for yourself, whether it's a particular car or track, you can head on over to the link in the description. Hit Esteban up. Great work. So hats off to my man over there. Esteban doing all the awesome work behind the scenes here for the Turn 3 Racing Network. Big time shout out to him. So head on down there, click the link, go check that great stuff out. Lap number 42 underway, and continuing to lead tonight's race, your pole sitter Andrew Payne has got Brett Hahn just behind him. Your points leader coming into tonight's race, running in the 3rd position, Ken Tallarico. Somehow have a Cinderella story and go back-to-back race-winning weekends as we close in on his championship hopes. And I pretty much think that Tallarico is locked in at this point in time. It's going to take some big-time points deficit to knock him all the way out of the top 8. He's about 171 points ahead of the 8th place driver right now, so going to be very hard to knock Tallarico out, and I can pretty much say that he's locked in. Gonna wait and see how tonight's race all unfolds, and we'll see who's locked in and who is going to have to race their way in when we Head to Talladega Superspeedway for the season finale as we begin year 2021. That's right, race fans, gonna conclude this season in 2021. So just prepare yourself. The Cyber Thunder BladeNode.com Pro Cup Series rolls off into 2021 to crown their champion, and we're gonna crown a race winner here. And Han looking for the crown. Han already visiting victory lane one time this season. Can he make it a second time here tonight, hugging that white line down on the bottom? And Payne is in trouble if he can't close the door. There he does, closing that door on Tallarico. Now looking for the crossover. Right there, all over that left rear bumper of Han. Han clips the apron, heads up the track. That's going to open the door once again for that 93, looking to the inside, hunting the front. Here comes Andrew Payne back to the front of the field. Jamie Beasley, David Gainforth onto pit road that time by. My goodness, race fans, great battle here at the front of the field between Brett Hahn, Andrew Payne, and Tanner Tallarico. Hahn took the top spot. Payne tried the crossover, tried to take it back, was not able to do so, and Hahn looking to see if he can't capitalize on a long run here. These drivers out there on the same fuel and tires as each other. Your top three all running very, very close to each other as we're closing in on the halfway point here tonight. My goodness, lap 48 already underway. Your race leader, Brett Hahn, continues to try to pull away, and looks like he's beginning to get that gap, already stepping out to 0.4 of a second over the field. Hahn continuing to try to step away from the field. Tanner Tallarico making the pass on Andrew Payne on lap number 48. So 2 laps ago, Tallarico stepping into that second spot. Nick Fleury, he's still trying to close the gap, running in that 4th spot, up 10 positions from where he started tonight's race. Michael Sturgill still running in 5th. Kyle Jet 6th. Tom Richter right there in 7th. 8th goes to Crank Bell. 9th, Eric Moyer. And rounding out your top 10, 4 positions down from where he started tonight's race, the 48 of Tim Rogers. Just 7 laps away from the halfway point, and Hahn has command of the race lead, but he has got the wily Fast Cat behind him. Tallarico looking to see if he can't go up there and snatch a lead lap, take a point, a bonus point. Not that he needs them, but see if he can't go ahead and grab a bonus point anyway here tonight. Tallarico trying to run down Hahn in that 71. We're going to look a little further back through the field at a few of the other battles on track right now. There you can see the 14 of Crank Bell trying to track down Tom Richter right there in the 34 machine. Richter up 6 positions from where he started tonight's race, running strong here tonight in Cyber Thunder Pro Cup Series, sponsored by BladeNode.com. BladeNode.com, simple web solutions powered by nerds. Only battle closer than the one you see on screen is the battle for the race lead, but Tanner Tallarico doesn't look like he's peeking or trying to make his way around. Comfortable with running right in the tracks of Hahn for the moment. It looks like Bell going to break away and come to pit road. Michael Sturgill also to pit road. 17 of Kyle Jett to pit road that time by, so green flag pit stops already underway. Here tonight, we'll see who else comes to pit road. Chris Dean came to pit road that time by as well, so multiple drivers in on lap number 55. Brett Hahn, Tanner Tallarico, Andrew Payne continue to stay out on track. Your top three have stepped away from the field. About a 2-second race advantage, or gap, I should say, from Payne back to Fleury. Running in the fourth spot, looks like Eric Moyer and his number 3 machine gonna come down pit road this time by. We'll wait and see if anybody gets nabbed by those pesky pit road police here tonight at Texas Motor Speedway. You wanna get as much as you can out of the car heading into pit road. I do want to mention a NASCAR driver here. That's what makes Kyle Busch so much better than a lot of the drivers, the way he's able to get on and off pit road. He gains a ton of track time with the way he attacks pit entry and exit, and we'll see which one of these drivers is willing to risk it and attack pit entry. Brian Dorsey on to pit road, as well as Richard Pruitt. Michael Sturgill being scored the first car off the lead lap, being scored 1 lap down now after his green flag pit stop. And your race leaders continue to stay out on track. Your top 8 still running from, running the same fuel cell, running the same tires that they started tonight's race. And there you can see the 78 with the fresher tires. He's going to make the passing Brett Hahn look pretty easy, but he's going to have to deal with that 3 of Eric Moyer as well. Moyer already on and off pit road, so Moyer's got some fresh tires as well. He's not going to be able to catch him as easily. Nick Fleury brings his 25 machine to pit road that last lap, so Fleury's going to drop off of the lead lap. The 55 of Eddie Behan sitting in the 8th position. Last car on the lead lap running in the 7th spot as Fleury drops now to the 8th position, being scored the first car 1 lap down. Distance closing a little bit from the drivers in the front. Andrew Payne 1.6 seconds off of your race leader, but Tom Richter, he has got a ton of time to make up. 6.7 seconds off of your race leader. Hahn, Tallarico, they break for pit road. What does Payne do? He comes as well. Richter, where's the 34 going to go? He's coming to pit road. Jay Morris, Tom Rogers, what do they do? Here's Jay Morris. Looks like he's going to slow and come to pit road. Rogers says, nah, I'm good. He stays out on track 1 more lap. With all the green flag pit stops underway, looking through timing and scoring, looks like we've got 9 or 10 drivers left on the lead lap here tonight. We'll see if we can cycle on through. If we could get a caution right now, this would throw some chaos into tonight's race. That is for sure. Battles all over the field right now, trying to get to Brett Hahn, Crank Bell, Tanner Tallarico. There you can see him off in the distance, and Tallarico somehow, some way was able to get a big gap over Hahn on and off pit road, looking through timing and scoring. Tallarico, I'm not sure if it was on pit road or not. Only 1/10 of a second faster in his box and actually slower overall on and off pit road. So Tallarico must have got up to speed on track a little bit better and cut through the traffic a little easier than what your former race leader Brett Hahn has been able to do. Eddie Behan continuing to stay out on track. There you can see your 55 discount Ford Mustang bringing it to pit road. Michael Sturgill, first driver to pit road, now assumes the race lead. In race fans, he has got a massive race lead. The biggest lead we have seen all night. We've seen drivers all over each other at the front of the field under a blanket, basically. And now Sturgill, after the early stop, 6 laps sooner than Tallarico and Hahn, he finds himself with a 3.2 second advantage over Tallarico. Brett Hahn closing the distance on him. Kyle Jett making up a ton of ground as well. That 17 machine now up inside the top 5. There you can see him right there battling for position with Crank Bell. The 93 of Andrew Payne going by. Bell just off in the distance right here. There you see him. That 14 coming. 17 losing a little bit of ground, and there are fresher tires coming in the distance as well. Nick Fleury, there you can see the 25 running in the 7th spot. Tom Richter about 4 seconds behind him, running in the 8th spot. There you can find Richter, Dorsey, Grandy round out your top 10. Looking for the closest battle on track, and I think we got it right about here. Tim Rogers looking to make the pass. Rogers with the pass on Rogerson easily. That 78 drops back to the 15th spot. Big run through the tri-oval. The 42 gonna fall victim to Tim Rogers as well, I believe. And actually that driver being scored 1 lap down or multiple laps down already. Paul Turner running in the 23rd position, and with green flag pit cycles already done and over with, we're going to head into a little bit of house cleaning here tonight. 29 drivers took to the starting grid. We still got 25 drivers out here on track. 22 left on the lead lap. Paul Turner being scored the first car off of the lead lap. Oh, and just like that, more drivers being scored off the lead lap all the way up to Richard Pruitt. 17 cars now left on the lead lap after your race leader puts a few more of these drivers down a lap, and the gap is starting to close. There you can see the one of Tanner Tallarico slowly closing the distance on your race leader, but Brett Hahn, he's found a way to capitalize and make a way through the traffic. He is right there running on that rear deck lid of Tanner Tallarico. Now we're going to have a 3-car battle as Tallarico looks to the bottom, blocked by Sturgill. Tallarico has none of it. Back to the front. New race leader Tanner Tallarico. That's going to open the door for Brett Hahn to follow suit on the inside. Getting freight train now is Sturgill in that 90. Brett Hahn puts it to the bottom of the track, running side by side. Drag race off of turn number 2 and down the backstretch. Who's gonna have the advantage when they get to 3? Hahn on the bottom. He's got a half a car advantage now. Powers through the center of the corner and around Tallarico. Back to the front. New race leader once again. Brett the Jet in that 71 tries to fight off Tallarico, looking for the bottom once again. Not gonna happen this time through 1 and 2. Good defensive move by Hahn. Takes a little bit of air off the nose of the one behind him. Set sail with a 2-car advantage. Now heading back into turn 3. More battles on track behind him. There you can see the 17 trying to make the pass on Crank Bell. Kyle Jett geared up, ready to go, trying to get inside that top 5. And nothing happening at the front, really. These drivers still all over each other. Brett Hahn trying to step away from Tallarico, not able to do so just yet. 1 second advantage now for Tallarico over Sturgill. We'll look at this battle going on because Andrew Payne, he's made his way into the battle for the podium position as we cross the line to begin lap number 74 out of the 115 scheduled in the official race distance here tonight. Side by side, looking inside. Here comes that 93 of Payne. Ken, your pole sitter, get back to the front. Gonna use that wider exit on two to his advantage. Gets to his door, then by through the center of 3 and 4. 1 car advantage already as they work their way back across the stripe to begin lap number 75. Kyle Jett making that pass on Crank Bell last time by on lap 74, grabbing that 5th spot away. Nick Fleury, Tom Richter, all trying to make up a little bit of time. They both find themselves 5 and 6 seconds behind your race leader, Brian Dorsey, 9th, running in the 9 machine. The 3 of Eric Moyer will round out your top 10, 18 seconds behind your race leader. And these drivers, they're going to start working their way into some lap traffic. Tanner Tallarico able to reclaim the lead moments ago from Brett Hahn halfway down the backstretch. Looked to the inside into 3 and took the top spot away. The 12 of Mike Grandy Sr. coming to pit road once again here tonight. Grandy being scored multiple laps down. By the time this green flag pit stop is over, Grandy going to be at least 2 laps down, being shown just 1 lap down right now. But these drivers already making their way back towards pit road, and he has not left his box just yet. Dave Gainforth brings his 101 down to pit road. And I tell you what, I haven't checked in on Dave's paint scheme here tonight. Let's check this out. Let's see what he's got here for us. Always a big-time fan of Dave's paint schemes, and it looks like that may be like a Monsters car, maybe, not really sure. We'll check that out in a little bit. See if we can't get a little bit of look. Look like the scrubbing bubbles. Always something great on the side of that car, I tell you that much. Back at the front of the field, your race leader, Tanner Tallarico, tries to fight off Brett Hahn. Hahn's trying to close the points gap between himself and Tallarico. Tallarico has the advantage in the win columns with 4 race wins. Hahn to victory lane 1 time so far this season. 70 points difference between Hahn and Tallarico. Consistency has been a key for both of these drivers. More so for Tallarico with those 4 race wins to his name. But Hahn consistently, and unfortunately I would maybe possibly venture to say, finishing in the 2nd spot multiple times here this season. He has by far got the most how would you say that? The most second places? That doesn't even sound right. We'll just, never mind, forget it. Battle still on track here. You can see Tom Richter making his way by Nick Fleury. Tim Rogers off in the distance as these 2 drivers make their way around that 24 of Richard Pruitt. Pruitt being scored 1 lap down. 78 of Rogerson being scored the first car 1 lap down as they run right now. Still green flag running since our first caution here tonight. Halfway down the backstretch on lap number 1, multiple cars caught up in a big time wreck. Jeff Sharp, Zach Shahalis, the 67 of Andy Cork. Mike Berg also caught up with some damage after that incident. And since then, it has been clean and green. And I tell you what, these drivers have been absolutely on it lap after lap, putting it down. Back at the front, here comes Hahn for the race lead. Not going to look to the inside into one. Going to let Tallarico have the spot for just a moment as we close in. Ladies and gentlemen, we're upwards of 80 laps into tonight's 115-lap race scheduled in the Pit Masters 115 for Cyber Thunder BladeNode.com Pro Cup Series. Tallarico back across the stripe, lap number 84 underway. Your top two have stepped away from the field. Andrew Payne, 2.7 seconds back from your race leader, Michael Sturgill, after making the early stop, falling to the 4th position. And I don't believe these drivers are going to have to come back to pit road. And if they do, they're only going to need a splash. So I wonder which one of these crew chiefs may take a gamble and say, save, save, save. And I'm actually beginning to look through the timing and scoring, and I believe your top three, they're all going to be able to make it to the end, even without saving, staying on track for 60 laps before they hit pit road. So that's going to split the race in half with just one pit stop for those top three drivers. So unfortunately, if the crew chief tells me save, doesn't look like I'm going to listen. Back at the front, Brett Hahn continues to try to run down Tanner Tallarico and that Cat Chevy ZL1 Camaro. Andrew Payne, Michael Sturgill, and Crank Bell round out your top five, but your two race leaders dangerously close into running into lap traffic. Tyler Beeman, Jay Morris, as well as Bradley Beeman just in front of them. They're going to have to navigate their way through a few of these lap cars. Going to head off into the grandstand shot. There you can see back over the back stretch now, heading into turn number 3. Your top two drivers still running nose to tail. Lap 87 as they head off into turn number 3. Tallarico gets a little loose down there on the bottom. Keeps it headed in the right direction. Big wash up at a 4-4. Hahn. And I keep seeing him do that. I keep saying a big wash up, but I wonder if that's just the line that he prefers. I mean, I've seen him do it multiple times. It looks like he's going up there and about to knock down that outside wall. But he gets a huge run off of turn 4. We'll watch him do it again right here. Watch as he goes up the track. There you see it, almost into that outside wall. And look at the distance he closes right there. Right there, gaining at least a half a car length or more, and now all over that rear deck lid of your race leader, Tanner Tallarico. And I tell you what, why don't we go on board here back to a gyro cam here on board of that 71 of Brett Hahn. Hahn looking for a spot, looking for a place to go. The Michigan Cat trying to keep him behind him. Not gonna happen. Oh, and look at the run. Look at the run from Hahn. Tallarico. Look at the run from Tallarico, keeping Hahn behind him. I didn't think he was going to be able to keep that high side up there and keep it wound up enough to keep Hahn behind him, but he was able to. Now Hahn looking to go to the inside. More lap traffic in front of them as we close in the distance. 25 laps remaining here tonight in the Pit Masters 115 in Cyber Thunder Pro Cup Series, sponsored by BladeNode.com. BladeNode.com, simple web solutions powered by nerds. Gonna head back through the field for just a brief moment. We've got some more battles on hand. Crank Bell, Kyle Jett, Tom Richter, all right here, grouped up with each other, running 5th, 6th, 7th, as they are on track right now. Battle for a top 5, and that is for a few drivers looking for some championship points, looking to keep themselves inside that top 8 and make it a little bit rougher on Chris Wold as well as Mike Berg. Berg pretty much gonna be in a must-win situation, and he's still gonna need a little bit of help, I believe, after a rough go at it here tonight at Texas No Limits Motor Speedway for Cyber Thunder BladeNode.com Pro Cup Series Pit Masters 115. And it looks like Fleury has just fell off the pace. The 25, there you can see him. He was right there behind Tom Richter just moments ago and has since dropped back about 3 seconds or more. So not sure if maybe Fleury looking down at the fuel gauge and realizing, oh, I need a little bit more fuel than I thought. Meanwhile, back at the front, these two drivers continue to battle on track. Tanner Tallarico leading Brett Hahn. Andrew Payne running in the 3rd spot. Michael Sturgill 4th, Crank Bell in 5th, but that spot's under pressure. Under fire is Bell from Kyle Jett and Tom Richter, but will your race leader Tallarico be able to keep it up for another 20 laps? It's the witching hour here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. It's time for the race car dreams to turn into reality, or will their dreams become nightmares, be crushed? We'll see which drivers come to the front, which ones go to the rear, and whether or not Tanner Tallarico can keep the field in his rear view mirror for another 19 laps. He has stepped away from Hahn now by a half a second as the 2 sits between your top 2 drivers. Chris Dean and the Wounded 2 machine has got a little bit of a buffer zone as he sits behind a very fast Tallarico. Dean looking to utilize that draft and possibly make up a few positions as we run to the end here tonight at Texas No Limits Motor Speedway. Lap cars all over this track. Your race leader gonna run into multiple back markers here tonight as we've got 11 drivers left on the lead lap, and Brian Dorsey in the 9 machine running in that 11th spot. He is in trouble because there you see him right there in front of your race leaders, and Tanner Tallarico's got to be a little careful here. Looks like Chris Dean is trying to get one of his 3 laps back right now by passing the race leader, and there you see Brian Dorsey going up the track. So Dorsey not gonna fight, staying on the lead lap. I was gonna say if Dorsey was content on staying on the lead lap, he was gonna race Tallarico very hard, but nope, that's just not the case. Moves right on up out the way, lets the 71 of Hahn by as well. So Hahn gonna try to see if he can't close that 0.7 of a second advantage that Tallarico has been able to build. With all that, we'll go back to this battle for the 3rd and 4th spot now between Michael Sturgill and Andrew Payne. Sturgill has that 3rd spot. Payne down 3 spots from where he started tonight's race. Your pole sitter here tonight had 93, leading a handful of laps, almost leading right about half of the laps here tonight was that 93, but it has been a tale of 2 races for him. After being at the top, he falls from grace, now running in the 4th spot, just trying to make his way back into a podium spot. a little further through the field, but still noteworthy of mention in battle right here. You can find the 27 of Jay Morris. He's trying to close the distance on the 92 of Bradley Beeman. That battle is for 12th and 13th on track, just in front of Tyler Beeman running in the 14th spot. And Bradley, man, right here, great job running just outside the top 10, but up 17 spots from where he started tonight's race. So biggest mover of the race going to that 92 of Bradley Beeman. Back at the front of the field, Tanner Tallarico stretching the lead. 1.1 second advantage now back to Brett Hahn. Michael Sturgill another 4 seconds behind Hahn, so your top two can pretty much play it pretty comfortably. And I wonder, with the way that Hahn has backed off, I wonder if the fuel mileage is that big of a concern for some of these drivers. I wonder if they may be thinking, I might not have enough. Crossing the stripe, 11 laps to go, and if Tallarico doesn't have enough fuel, he's not showing any signs of saving any fuel. Hard on the gas out of turn number 2, and the 2 of Chris Dean continues to run right there, tucked up underneath Tanner Tallarico. And I wonder if this is going to vote well for Chris Dean, because if he can stay right here with your race leader, he's actually gaining a bit of ground on the drivers that he's racing for position. Dean sitting in the 20th spot right now. And if he can stay tucked up right here with the race leader with 10 laps remaining, he may just be able to close the distance and possibly grab a spot or two. Battle for that third spot has went away. The 93 dropping back now, losing 0.7 of a second to Michael Sturgill. So looks like the field's starting to settle it on out once again, coming to what would be an end of a green flag run. Only 9 laps remaining here tonight in the Cyber Thunder Pro Cup Series, sponsored by BladeNode.com. Tonight at Texas Motor Speedway for the Pit Masters 115. Just one more race remains after tonight before we head off into the chase. Talladega Super Speedway will set the chase grid. We'll see which one of these top 8 drivers is able to walk away a season champion. It is going to be a fast-paced championship showdown for all 8 drivers. Just 3 races to get the job done, so it's all going to matter. It's all going to be important in those 3 championship races, but it's going to be more important for multiple drivers heading into Talladega to have some great runs, try to claw their way into that top 8 in the chase grid right now, being dominated by your race leader, Tanner Tallarico, Brett Hahn, Tom Richter, Eddie Behan, Crank Bell, Chris Dean, as well as Tim Rogers and Brian Dorsey right now sitting last driver in the chase, just 3 points ahead of Chris Wold. And that may very well change throughout tonight's race, because Wold back in the 24th position as the high 5. 4 to go now for your race leader, Tanner Tallarico. There you see it. High 5 for him last time by. 4 to go this time around for your race leader. 1.7 second advantage over Brett Hahn. Michael Sturgill nowhere to be found right now, and we have got only 9 drivers left on the lead lap. Tim Rogers in the 48 machine being scored the last car on the lead lap, running in that 9th spot, and he is just a handful of seconds in front of your race leader last time by. Tallarico running a 30.42, and Rogers sitting 27.8 seconds behind your race leaders. So very close to being off of the lead lap, and if it was me, I would race my guts out to stay on the lead lap at this point in time. 3 laps remaining here for Tanner Tallarico and that Michigan Cat Chevy ZL1 Camaro, looking to make it 2 in a row in Cinco on the season. Can Tallarico keep it going and keep it together? Popsicle sticks this time by for your race leader Tallarico. Hahn closing the distance by a 10th, but that's not going to be enough. Tallarico looks to be a little slow here through the center of 1 and 2. Hahn closing in 2/10. Watching the gaps, watching the cars. No, looks like it's gonna be 1 to go. White flag flies for your race leader, Tanner Tallarico. Just one more time around this 1.5 mile track. Texas No Limits Motor Speedway has been a friend to your points leader. Man, what a run. Down into turn 3 for the final time tonight, through the center, out of 4. Coming to the stripe, through the trioval, crossing the line, race winner. Tanner Tallarico walks away with the checkered flag here tonight in the Pit Masters 115 for Cyber Thunder Pro Cup Series, sponsored by BladeNote.com. So make it back-to-back victory lane visits for your points championship leader here. Little bit of a love tap from Hahn. Little love tap out of the 24 as well. And Hahn, man, I'm telling you, post-race interviews, Hahn is going to be somewhat down again, finishing second, but I'm telling you, he has been on fire, running solid top 3s almost the entire season. But once again, Tallarico able to edge the field, and as he enjoys a victory lap, we'll get things set and ready to go for our post-race interview. So don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back, live here from Texas No Limits Motor Speedway on the Turn 3 Racing Network. back trackside after another great one in the books for Cyber Thunder Pro Cup Series, sponsored by BladeNode.com. Tanner Tallarico getting the job done again, but let's see if we can't catch in a few words with the driver that finished in the third position out there tonight, Michael Sturgill. Excuse me. Golly. Sorry about that. Michael Sturgill walking away with the third place here tonight. 90 Machine. You had that thing hooked up there on the outside run there a few times, Michael. Did it ever really pay off that high side run?
No, not really. I think it hurt me on the long run. I think it was killing my tires. Seemed like if you were on fresh tires, it would work slightly. So I just kept that in mind in case we got a late race caution. But I think it definitely hurt my tires on that first run trying to that.
Well, man, you had yet another great run, and if you go back and watch it, and I'm gonna go ahead and mention to it, man, we got to get a deal worked out here. I need me some Bengals gear, man. I need me some Bengals gear.
You really want some Bengals gear? I mean, I got some. Probably still got tags on it. I'll ship it out to you.
Oh, man, that's horrible, isn't it? No, just kidding. Anyways, man, great race out there for you. We're just 2 races away from going off into the chase. You're on the outside looking in, not looking too pretty for the championship hopes for you this season. So what's your goal from this moment on? Is it just to try to keep this momentum going and try to get as many race wins as you can through the remaining races?
Yeah, I looked at it last week. I don't really think there's any way I could get in to the chase. So really the only goal is to go out and win one of these races in this league. I've had a lot of second and thirds, never won here though.
Well, Michael, I hope to be the one that gets to witness you getting that job done. And once again, congratulations. Great job out there tonight, walking away on the podium. Third place for you here tonight. Before we let you go, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody on the side of that car?
Yeah, for sure. You guys for broadcasting this thing. All the league admins that helped put this together and run it. All the drivers. That was great to only have one caution. It's awesome to get a long green race in. And my teammate Kyle. It's always good to have him in the race and bouncing ideas off each other. And my pops for watching. It's always cool to have someone watching you.
All right, my man. Well, once again, congratulations on a great run out here tonight. And you have yourself a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and we'll catch up with you at Talladega in 2021. What do you say?
Sounds like a plan. Thank you.
All right, my man. You take it easy.
Sip.
There you go. Final parting words from the man on screen, finishing in your third place here tonight. Michael Sturgill walking away with a podium spot. Let's see if we can't grab a few words with the driver finishing in the second spot here tonight from Texas No Limit Speedway. Let's see if we can't dial up that 71 of Brett Hahn. It's Dave in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I do, Dave.
Hey, bud. How you doing? Talking to you yet again, huh?
Oh yeah, like I said, I love to be consistent, especially in this series. So when I get to talk to you after most nights, it means I'm doing my job up here.
That you are, my man, walking away with a great finish once again. A bridesmaid yet again. Are you ever getting tired of second? I mean, has it worn on you yet, only being able to get to victory lane one time so far this season?
Oh yeah, Dave, every second place you're like, man, you go back, you rewatch the race, you relive, and you say, man, what could I improve on every time? So I'm definitely getting better, but it's just small little things that are getting me, Dave. Like you saw on track, I can definitely race down Tanner Tallarico. Just the pit stop was a little slow for my guys, and the restarts, again, weren't quite there for the 71. So I think once I pick up on those things, I think I definitely got a huge shot here.
All right, my man. Well, if it sounds like I'm harping on you at all or, jumping your case at all, it's just because, man, you got a great car out there week in, week out, and it kind of hurts me to watch you have it right there in your hands and it just kind of slips away at the end. But regardless, man, you've been on fire all season long. Podium finishes all season long. Yet again, another podium finish, second place here tonight. Brett, before we let you go and enjoy the rest of the night, you want to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody on the side of the car?
Sure thing, Dave. And yeah, you're never harping on me. I completely understand it. If I'm being honest with you, I was probably one of the underdogs here in these NASCARs because I come from a short track racing, especially here on iRacing. So this NASCAR stuff is definitely for sure foreign, but definitely getting the swing of things here as of late. But for sure want to thank you, Dave, for putting on the broadcast, doing an awesome job commentating. All the admins at Cyber Thunder who put this show on. Tanner for, of course, painting up this sweet-looking Brett the Jet machine. All the Brett the Jet loyals out there and all the fans. My dad, mom, grandparents watching the stream. Brother, sister, the girlfriend, and yeah, just all the Brett the Jet loyals. And we'll get the underdog story and get some wins here when the playoffs start for sure.
All right, my man. Well, after another podium finish tonight, I think it's safe to say you're locked up into the chase. So you can enjoy that over the holiday break, and you have yourself a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and we'll catch up with you in 2021 at Talladega. Let's see if we can't get a win at the Super Speedway.
Oh, yeah, for sure, Dave. I tell you what, it'll be nice and relaxing going to Talladega knowing that I'm locked in with how crazy everything goes on there. But, yep, I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a happy and safe holidays here.
All right, there you have it. Final parting words from the driver walking away in the second spot here tonight. And that will bring us to none other than this man right here, separating himself from the field, not only post-race, but walking away with the race win once again. Let's see if we can't grab a word with the man, the myth, always up front, the one of Tanner Tallarico. Great race win yet again. The Michigan Cat, victory lane, back-to-back. How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling pretty good right now, to be completely honest with you, Dave. I kind of came into tonight and just wanted to get through it. I was talking with Brett earlier in the week, and we were both kind of in agreement that, you know, where we're at in points right now, we're kind of just trying to get to the chase or the playoffs or whatever you want to call it now. And I don't know, it just qualified better than I thought we would. I've really been struggling with qualifying so far this year, and I think we qualified outside of the front row. Congrats to our teammate Andrew. I think that was his first pole in Cyber in quite a while, so it's cool to see Andrew get the pole there. But as soon as we qualified and I started on the outside front row, I kind of totally changed my game plan and just told myself while I'm up here, I'm just going to race hard until something happens and I get shuffled back in the field. Then I'll kind of, reevaluate the driving strategy for the night. But never really got any real cautions other than right there on the first lap. So never really had the opportunity to get shuffled through the field and just kind of stuck with it all night long. And this is where we ended up.
Well, man, with the way the points were shaken out coming into tonight's race, it was pretty safe to say you were locked into the chase. But after this fifth win on the season, a high five in the victory column here for you. You're definitely locked in the chase. Not going to have to worry about a bad moment or a bad race at Talladega Super Speedway. So knowing that we've got a brief break for the holiday season here, how do you approach these championship races? Do you just look right past Talladega into the chase races, or do you focus on Talladega at all?
Well, I mean, to be completely honest with you, Dave, going into Talladega, it's such a wild card race. Even if you do want to go in there and really try to control your own destiny and run up front all day, it's just more oftentimes than not, you try to run up front there and something happens that's out of your control, and you either get wrecked out or you get on the bad end of like pit strategy call, or you lose the draft or what have you. So usually when I go into a plate track like that, especially one that leads into a chase, if I'm in the position that I'm in right now, or we're pretty good on points, I usually just go in there and I'll probably play tail end Charlie and not qualify and just kind of hang out and dodge the wrecks and whatnot. maybe if I get the opportunity, maybe help one of my buddies out or a teammate or something along those lines. But probably going to Talladega and just kind of, let it ride and try to stay out of the big one and see where we end up at the end of that.
All right, my man. Well, Tanner, been a pleasure watching you all season long. Looking to watch the chase develop, see how you go with that one. And with all that being said, once again, congratulations on your 5th race win of the season. And before we let you celebrate and enjoy the rest of the night, you want to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody on the side of that car?
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, first and foremost, all my friends and family. I'm pretty sure my mom is watching and my grandma, and I don't know if my aunt, maybe my grandpa. They're always watching these things. They enjoy the broadcast that you put on, and Turn 3 in general. You guys do a great job every single week. Yeah, and then we had Mid-Michigan Cat on the car tonight, so a little bit different paint scheme for tonight's race. Won't see them on the car the rest of this season, but hoping to try to work something out with them for next season, and I was really trying to leave it all on the line for them. I'm hoping that tonight kind of gives them a little bit of momentum to jump on board next season when we come back in the Pro Cup Series and, maybe sponsor a couple primary races here or there. But Mid-Michigan Cat, Proco, Advanced Auto Parts, and everybody back at DLI, all my teammates, and Tim and Tom and Andrew, my friends Brett and Nick, and, I could go on and on. Really just everybody in this league. I think I said it last week. Got a lot of friends in here, but it's more of just like a family relationship. And yeah, we'll go into Talladega and just ride around and wait to get wrecked or checkers or wreckers.
All right, my man. Well, enjoy the rest of the night. Enjoy the holidays. Have yourself a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and we'll catch up with you in 2021.
Yeah, you as well, Dave. Happy holidays to everybody.
There you have it. Final words from your race winner. Race number 5 in the victory column for the one of Tanner Tallarico, getting the job done once again. Man, oh man, what a night it was here tonight for the Pit Masters 115 in the Cyber Thunder Pro Cup Series, sponsored by BladeNode.com. BladeNode.com, simple web solutions powered by nerds. And Tanner Tallarico, there you can see him fire up his one machine. He'll head back to pit road, and it looks like, well, sounds like producers hitting the button, so you know that familiar sound, race fans. Let's run down your unofficial race results from tonight's Texas No Limits Motor Speedway. In the Pitmasters 115, walking away with the race win, the one of Tanner Tallarico. Finishing in second yet again, Brett the Jet Hahn. Michael Sturgill going to bring his 90 machine home in third. Andrew Payne, after qualifying first, finishes in fourth. Rounding out your top 5 here tonight, the 14 of Crank Bell. The 34 of Tom Richter gonna slot home in 6th. 7th to Kyle Jet. Nick Fleury in 8th. Tim Rogers in the 48 gonna slot home in 9th, and 10th place goes to the 3 of Eric Moyer. The 92 of Bradley Beeman gonna slot home in 11th. 12th goes to Jay Morris. The 9 of Brian Dorsey gonna slot home in 13th. Finishing tonight in 14th, the 91 of Tyler Beeman. And Eddie Behan in his 55 machine will round out your top 15. Richard Pruitt coming home in 16th, 17 to Eric Anderson. Mike Grandy Sr. finishing in the 18th spot. 19th goes to Bob Rogerson. The 2 of Christine gonna finish tonight's race 3 laps down, but inside your top 20. 21st position goes to Jamie Beasley. David Gainforth having some trouble finishing 3 laps down on his 101. Paul Turner slots his 42 machine home in the 23rd spot. 24th goes to the 32 of Chris Wold. Bryson Clark gonna finish 25th. 26th goes to Mike Berg. Andy Cork and Jeff Sharp caught up in an early race incident, gonna finish 27th and 28th in tonight's race. And rounding out the field in an early crash here tonight, the 22 of Zach Shahalis gonna finish 29th. 30th goes to the 44 of Cole Gray. Well, with that being said, there's not much left to do except begin to roll up a few of the power cords and things of that nature here from the Turn 3 Racing Network booth. Do want to take a minute to thank each and every one of you for tuning in here tonight. If you haven't already, throw these drivers a thumbs up, click the bell, smash the bell, click some... Wait a minute, time out. If you haven't already, throw these drivers a thumbs up, click the bell, smash subscribe over there on the right-hand side. Get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Whether it's myself, Darkside, Dave in the Cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 Racing headquarters, we do appreciate each and every time you tune in, whether it's the fan, friend, or family. We appreciate each and every one of you. Without you, there would be no us. So with that being said, stay safe, stay loved, my friends. Until next time, we'll see you in Turn 3.